Good evening. Good evening, City of Newark. Good evening, West Ward. Good evening. We're so delighted for you to join us tonight at this virtual meeting about the West Ward Neighborhood Development Plan and our Neighborhood Development Program with an exciting group of guests tonight. I am Allison Ladd, the Director of Economic and Housing Development for Mayor Raj J. Baraka, and I am just your host tonight. It is my pleasure to be with you, and we're excited about the town hall tonight. So what we'd like to do tonight is we'll start with brief remarks from the mayor, brief remarks from our council member, a champion for the West Ward. We'll show a short video, and we're going to jump right in so you can hear from the development team here. We have 6 wonderful, exciting teams that are going to be able to tell you all about what they're doing here in the city of Newark and in the West Ward. So with that, we're going to jump right in so you can hear from the development team here. We have 6 wonderful, exciting teams that are going to be able to tell you all about what they're doing here in the city of Newark and in the West Ward. So with that, so if we could, sorry for that technical difficulty. Thank you for bearing with us. If Mayor, I could have you give a few opening remarks, that would be great. And we will move right to Councilmember McCullough.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I just want to say this is, something we've been working on for a long time, Westwood Neighborhood Development Initiative. We're trying to do this kind of work all over the city, particularly make sure we develop and repair some of the blighted properties in our community. We know that some of these properties have been this way for the last 30, 40 years or so in our neighborhood, and to be able to do it with local, folks, black and brown developers, women developers that are out here that are either trying to get into development or are there already and are a part of what we're trying to do in a kind of holistic way in the city, and we're starting here in the West Ward. So some great people on here, and you don't need to hear me, you need to hear their stories. They're doing outstanding things in the city. So with that being said, I'll pass it on to the Councilman McCullum.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to congratulate the mayor. It was his administration that came up with this idea. We knew that there was many blighted properties in the West Ward when we came into office. So I'm honored to have been able to sponsor this legislation through the council. And on behalf of my colleagues and the mayor, we're glad to be here with these developers. I think it was about 2 years ago, almost exactly, that I met with all of these developers, and they had great ideas. And it's good to see that they have persisted and persevered, and that they are ready to rock and roll. There was some red tape, and things take a long time. We're working on that also. So we wish these developers the very best of luck, and we know that they'll be successful. And anything they need from me, I'm available, and I'm sure the mayor is available. So we want to thank you for coming to the West Ward.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council Member. Again, we're delighted for tonight. As our developers are getting ready to share their story and what they're doing in your neighborhood, we'd like to show you just a short video for everyone to view what the history is of the neighborhood and where we're headed into the future. So if I could ask to cue the video next. Thank you. The West Side Neighborhood Development Plan area encompasses 21 blocks off of the South Orange Avenue in Newark, New Jersey. Mayor Raj J. Baraka chose this neighborhood for our redevelopment efforts because of its troubled past, a history and a neighborhood with many vacant lots, abandoned and neglected buildings, foreclosures, and some underwater, and an overall lack of quality affordable housing. However, the West Ward has everything needed for a resurgence. A good sustainable mix of residential, commercial, and public and institutional uses, and most importantly, active residents and local organizations. There is West Side Park, West Side High School, neighborhood shopping corridors that can be reimagined and restored. There are many homes and blocks that are very well cared for, a sign of owners with pride in their community. We need to ensure the good is not threatened by the bad, as we want the West Ward to thrive. It's meant to be a beacon in the city of Newark. Our overall vision for the neighborhood is that it's safer, walkable, more livable, with a new rehabilitated housing that's affordable to residents at every income level. Additional stores, services, and recreational facilities, and improved public facilities. Commercial and mixed use along major corridors with smaller scale commercial and mixed use in strategic locations. Already, there are new and rehabilitated homes that resulted from the city of Newark selling land at low cost to developers, providing grants to first-time homebuyers, and giving incentives to help small minority and women developers to build here. To finish what we started, Mayor Baraka is partnering with small minority and women developers in our neighborhood development program. We are working on 45 properties in this neighborhood, and we are creating jobs for Newark residents while we are rebuilding our city. At this community town hall, you will meet 6 of our developers. You will learn about who they are and what their plans are for your neighborhood. They are extraordinary, and we are proud to partner with them. Our goal is to spread the neighborhood development program across the city of Newark, and we want to partner with more community developers to advance Newark forward.
Wow, Director, that was pretty good.
Thank you, Councilmember. I have to just say thank you for the team. There's a fantastic team, a communications team that, and Gerard Crowder who made this happen. And so it was really an honor just to be part of the video. But with that, let's just go right to the heart of the conversation tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Gerard Crowder, who is a really shining star member of our team here in the city of Newark. He leads Affordable Housing and Sustainable Housing Office. And we're just delighted to have him join our team just in the last 4 months. And so really great to have him here tonight. And Gerard is going to lead us through the rest of our presentation tonight. So Gerard, please take it away.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Ladd, Mayor, Councilman McCollum. Certainly is a pleasure to be here with such a dynamic group. I'm a lifelong resident here in the city of Newark and have seen a lot of what can be accomplished when a community comes together. I'm especially honored to be now a part of this project. This is the first cohort in which we're really focused on wealth building, building up our communities through economic development, and really done in a comprehensive way, just strategy, not necessarily what we've seen in the past 20 years or so in terms of, it's great that Newark has the opportunity to develop housing. Now it's a question of, okay, what types of housing, what type of long-term impact, and who's developing that housing? So we have an opportunity now to bring together developers of varying levels and also provide the vision, the demands established and the tools in order to help achieve those goals. And so this is just the beginning of a great project and I'm looking forward to tonight's conversation. And so because we're all gathered here to listen to those who are actually doing the developing, I will now jump right in. And our first developer is Mr. Cyree Morris of Ascension. So Cyree is a lifelong Newarker and also founder of MCI Development and Construction. And I just have to say that he's really exemplar of the best of what Newark can produce, not just because of his current position, but he says, and his work is exemplary of the fact that he's seeking to develop affordable housing for families and also job opportunities. So again, here's someone who's produced right here in the city of Newark and looking to make his contribution. So without further ado, Cyree, if you would be so kind as to tell us about your background and discuss your project with us.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I would like to say I want to thank the mayor, Councilman Joe, Allison, the municipality, everybody who, helped me get to this point. Myself, Cyree Morris, born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, went to University High School. Well, I went to Miller Street, I went to Maple Avenue, went to University High School, then eventually graduated from Rutgers with a degree in civil engineering. As a civil engineer, I was able to see how to develop land in a large capacity. And that kind of spearheaded me into looking at development, but from a larger scale, right? And so, as days happen, as days progress as being a civil engineer, I ended up getting laid off. And instead of me, going back to try to find another job, I looked at it as an opportunity for me to start wealth building and to start making a real impact in my community. And so with that, I started as a general contractor, got things rolling. And then eventually, I was able to acquire enough money, find some investors. And now I'm at a point now where I'm able to buy property and buy land and develop properties ground up. So, I'm Newark through and through, born and raised, and I don't plan on going anywhere, and I plan on doing a lot more in terms of the development stuff. So now, with my project on the West Ward, I want everybody to take a look. I'm about to share my screen, so give me 1 second. Let me do this one right here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. So, right. So my project right here, this one is located at 518-530 South 16th Street in Newark, New Jersey. And so myself, I started out with, renovating 2 and 3 families, and I upgraded and I started building 2 and 3 families. And now I'm at a transition point where I'm able to build small mid-rise buildings, 5 stories or greater. So with the West Ward, the thing I like about the West Ward is that it's a part of a redevelopment area. So with that, what that means is you have a lot of different mixed uses. You got a lot of different mixed use buildings, and you have the opportunity to scale. So with the plan here, you may have some 2 and 3 families, you may have some small mid rises, and that's where I come in at. So this project right here, the project itself, I acquired 6 lots from the city of Newark, and on those 6 lots, I'm going to build 69 residential units across 2 different parcels. So the first one you see right here is 518-530 South 16th Street, and this one is 36 units. The reason why I chose this property and I like this area is because it's located right next to West Side Park. So whenever you are trying to community, you want to have different amenities, different things that people want to go to. And now with health being such a prominent thing in our community, which is a great thing, we got the park right next door. You got the police station right next door. So this right here, to me, was one of the core areas in which you can make some really impactful development that can be a catalyst for all of the other development in this area. And for this reason, I decided to scale. All right, so this project right here has 8 1-bedroom units and 25 2-bedroom units. We may switch up the unit counts a little bit, but that totals 33 units itself. So the building right here is 5 stories. We got some ground floor parking. We got a nice lobby area, and we don't have balconies on this one, but we do have like the balcony appeal on like on each of the frontage of each of the units on this side. So next, what you see right here, you have the first floor plan. Like I said before, the first floor it consists of the parking spaces. Right now, we decided to only put 11 parking stalls, and you would think, why you got 33 units with 11 parking stalls? That's because we're trying to promote a transient area, right? We ride on the bus line. We want people to ride their bikes more. We want people to jog more. And this falls right in line with what the plan of the redevelopment area is. So on the first floor, we got a mix of 1 and 2 bedrooms. It comes with with our own laundry, and we also have elevators as well. So pretty much floors 2 to 5 are relatively the same. And now we're going to go into, some of the side views of each of the parcels and stuff. So, like when you're doing development, you want to make sure that in apartments, you have enough space, right? You have enough windows, you have enough glazing so that you can get a lot of natural sunlight in there, right? A lot of natural sunlight means that, you don't have to use your electricity as much, which means that you have a reduced electrical bill. So these are like some of the small things as a developer that we like to add. We like to add a lot of windows to make sure that we get a lot of natural sunlight in there. And, we all can use some more vitamin D. All right, so, and this right here is the side elevation. And then basically what you see right here is just pretty much the building. We have a different type we have a different type of siding. We have part brick with some stucco and a little bit of siding as well. And right here is what's, what's most important. We got the bedroom and bathroom counts and the layouts of everything, right? So right now, number one right here is a 1-bedroom unit. It averages about 700 square feet. So the one thing that we try to do when designing, and me being an engineer, I play a little more of a role when it comes to the design, is that we like to make sure people have enough space and they don't be too cramped and tight in their units. So we think for, a 1-bedroom, 700 square feet is a really nice unit. Our apartments are ADA compliant. So you can see in this 1-bedroom unit right here, you have the handicap so that we make sure that, everything in our units are handicap accessible, whether, you could come right in on the ground level, get on the elevator and get to each part of the building as someone please if they are handicapped. We like to have an open floor concept. In terms of the open floor concept, what that means is that, you just have the living room and the kitchen just open to each other. And that promotes the feng shui, the swag, the style, the feel that we're trying to bring to the city. Now with our variant 2-bedroom counts, we have an A unit right here, that's the yellow. We have a B unit and we have a C unit. Each of our units has a minimum of 900 square feet. 900 square feet, sometimes you get 3 bedrooms and an extra bathroom. But with us, we decided to make the apartments more spacious so that we can, promote a better style and better quality of living. So now that was my first building. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right. Now with the second building, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me get to the parcel, hold on. All right. So now with the second building, this one is located right around the corner on 538-540 South 16th Street. This is the current, this is what the property currently is. The good thing about this program with the NDP, with the model neighborhood, is that the city of Newark has basically held our hand through this process. Whether it's meeting with us, sometimes once a week, sometimes twice a week, once a month. We met with all of the planners, the engineers, and all of the people who are in position to help us get our plans approved, but more importantly, get through the permitting process so that we could break ground. So that's something that is not typically done, in other municipalities. Myself, I have some experience in other areas, but that's something that's unique to Newark because not only is the administration in position to give us parcels, but they're giving the parcels to people who can actually deliver. And us as developers are very appreciative, and we make sure that we capitalize on all the opportunities that the city provides us. So this is currently what this parcel is. This parcel is 4 lots right here. We don't own this one right here where it says lot for sale. Oh,
Sorry, I think your screen is stuck.
Yeah, I think
Allison.
Oh, it's stuck?
yeah,
Yes.
we're not
may
seeing.
want to
You're probably seeing.
share.
So yeah.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, come here, Kayla.
And I know Gerard is making sure that everybody has equal opportunity to speak, but you probably have about another 90 seconds.
Okay, no problem. Right.
Yes.
We good? So can you see now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Got you. Yes. So come here, Kayla, one more thing. So now I'm gonna change something else. So I'm gonna do this and I want to show this right. I know, I got you. I'm gonna show this right. So that parcel right there will look like this in hopefully 18 to 24 months.
All right.
What you see right here is a 5-story building. We have a mix of some wood paneling on the exterior with some exterior brick. This is like a style that you might see in other modern urban areas and stuff. But this is some of the things that I would like to bring to the city. This count right here, this building right here has 33 units and is a different mix of 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And in this property right here, we have a laundry room on each floor. We also have 2 elevators. And this is some of the amenities and some of the things that we like to bring as well. We entertain and maybe having some type of a rooftop decking, but we still on the fence about that. But this is something that we might provide. So I'm going to take up too much more of your time. This is the project right here. I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely grateful, and I'm very, very appreciative for the city to put a spotlight on all of us. We're Newark through and through, And I think the best thing that we can do for this administration is deliver. And I want to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Cyree. We certainly appreciate the information. Those are great images. We look forward to seeing that built, as you said, next 18 to 24 months there in the West Ward. Moving on to our next developer. I want to make sure I highlight where she Miss Eugenia Hamlet, but also Mr. Ray Hamlet. I have to make sure to mention this is a husband and wife team. I believe it's the only husband and wife team amongst our developer cohort, Hamlet Development. And one of the things that I like to highlight about you is the fact that you were able to finish or develop some properties in the West Ward a little early on. And so, you know, you are a little bit further than some of the developers, but in that regard, you helped to catalyze some of this. And so, you know, we're certainly grateful to hear about your projects and also your background. So without further ado, you can get right into it. Tell us a little bit about Hamlet Development.
Sure. Good evening, you know, Mayor, Ms. Ladd, Mr. McCollum. You know, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share my experience with you, as well as with the residents of Newark, specifically the West Ward, where we've been working for the past 4 years. Now, we didn't jump out the box as developers. We started out as landlords while I worked as a social worker at Newark Community Health Center. And my husband worked as a counselor at Lippman Hall, a youth correctional facility also in Newark. But as the real estate market was booming, with the support of my father-in-law, we both left our jobs to pursue real estate full-time. Then 2008 happened, the market crashed. Of course, naturally, because we used to manage our own rehab projects, we pretty much became contractors. We worked for the city of Newark doing rehab jobs for seniors, also a couple other nonprofits that provided similar services. Fast forward, and we're now a full-time brokerage, as well as affordable housing development firm, where I handle the fun stuff, acquisition and finance, and my husband does design and construction. And as I'm saying this, I realize how one particular nonprofit helped us to grow and be where we are today. It started out, you know, with everything I do, I try to get training. So I signed up with the NJRA, New Jersey Real Development Authority, to learn about development, finance, you know, how to put a project together. And that's where I met Mr. Wayne Myers, and from New Jersey Community Capital. He plugged me into Jeff Crum, who was their director of real estate at the time. And not only did they offered us to joint venture on projects with them, which we did. We also worked for them as contractors. Now, they got us early when we were early in our business. So we made mistakes. There were some bumps and bruises, but you know, I just wanted to credit them for the experience. It was through working with them that we're now able to perform, I want to say, as well as we do on the opportunities that are available to us now. And it was also through NJCC that we were able to sign up with an organization that allowed us to purchase foreclosures directly from Fannie Mae, renovate them and put them on the market for sale or rent to eligible buyers. And NJCC also financed us for the first 2 projects that we did in the West Ward on South 16th Street. And you know, soon after that, around 2014, a request for qualification had came out. They were looking for developers. And that's when I met Ms. Mohammed, also with Mr. Hamilton. And I applied and was chosen or awarded, approved to be part of this group of emerging developers. And although Ms. Mohammed was tough at first, once we did prove ourselves to her, she's been golden and she continues to be a pleasure to work with. And since being in the program, we've purchased a total of 7 parcels. The first 2 were on South 16th Street, which we've completed. and have sold. Then after that, we were awarded another 5 parcels. This was 2018. I believe we closed in 2019. Now the 5 parcels involve a 6-unit and a 2-family that are currently under renovation. And so then we have another 3 parcels that are going to be new construction. The new constructions involve a 3-family and a 2-family that are going to be for sale, and an 11-unit mixed-use project for rent that's going to be on the corner of South 16th and South 17th Street, 16th Avenue and South 17th Street. And those are pretty much in various pre-development stage. Now I'd like to briefly discuss the two renovation projects that we're working on. The first one is 603 15th Avenue. Now 603 15th Avenue is a 2-family for sale. This is the as is when we first bought the property. And I'd like to show where we are with it now.
And we move on to where the
second
project is
one.
in. Right. Number 2, the second.
Yes, number 2. I'm not.
Theo, can you scroll down, Theo, please? There you go.
Okay.
Thank you. Before and after, thank you.
Yeah.
It looks much better.
Yeah. So pretty much this is the exterior, and the inside, we're pretty much waiting for cabinets. So most of the interior is done as well. We completed the floors. Theo, if you could scroll down, you can just scroll down. I'm not gonna take long with it. So this is the interior. We're pretty much, we did the hardwood floors, you know, the tiling. We really ordered cabinets, and we're waiting for that to come. And that should, once you get cabinets, you're ready to pretty much wrap up in 2-3 weeks. So this one I expect to put on the market probably early September. And so the next project is the rental, the 6-unit on South 18th Street. If we can go there, Theo. Okay. Here is we're 550-552 South 18th Street rental project, all 2 bedrooms, 1 bath each. Have a very nice deck in the back. And you know, as far as the renovation to the property, it includes removing and regrading, replacing the entire roof, window replacements with energy efficient ones. We have new kitchens, new baths, all new electric and plumbing, and added HVAC systems, new doors, and of course, you know, we're not there yet, but we plan to do a nice, you know, improving the landscaping for that curb appeal. And voila, this is the exterior of the 6-family. I can't wait to get it completed. I mean, I sometimes I get these properties and I want to move in. It's, you know, even with this one here, some of the issues we've had with Amazon, people being able to order Amazon and having it delivered.
Website, so I'm gonna try to pull it up now.
And everyone mute, please. And everyone except Eugenia mute. Thank you. All right. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. So a key feature to this, we'll have the Ring cameras for the doorbell, as well as Amazon has a key for business, where it's some electronic key they'll put on the door to be able to deliver folks' packages inside. We're excited about that, and pretty much I just want to say I'm just thrilled. I feel like a kid at the candy store when I think of, you know, all the available opportunities in the West Ward. and I just want to express my gratitude to the mayor, to city officials for making the decision to take a chance on us, on minority developers, women developers like myself. I truly believe that with us together working as a group, we can make a greater impact in improving and modernizing the housing stock in the West Ward, and to create affordable home ownership and rentals for Newark residents. Together, I think we can do this.
Yeah. Thank you, Janie. I think you said something really important too, and that is that you would love to move in there yourself. I think that speaks to the quality of the housing that you've provided. It really is somewhat of a departure in order to have developers who are invested to develop something that's of quality, and actually would move into those properties themselves and live and raise families and contribute to that community. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the next developer. We actually have two gentlemen here. You see one of their names is listed, Mr. Anton Campbell, but there's also Mr. Dondre Alexander, and together they make DDA Pioneers. Now you two gentlemen are fairly new to the development game. We've talked about how we have a range of developers here across the spectrum who are, all considered emerging developers, but are really working together in this cohort in order to contribute to the West Ward. And so we'd certainly like for you to talk a little bit about your background, talk about your projects, and how you've worked with the city thus far in order to arrive where you are now.
All right. Well, thank you again to the mayor, the council member, and the administration for giving us this opportunity to work with this project. We're really excited to be involved in the redevelopment of the West Ward. Dan and I have been working together for a number of years in the capacity of landlords. And recently we decided that we wanted to expand a bit more. We learned about the NDP project and submitted our application, and thankfully we were accepted in. And since then we've been awarded 8 parcels. We've closed on 4, and we've begun work on one of the renovation sites. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so when we first actually joined the NDP project, one of the first things that we did, we had a meeting in the West Ward, and it was amazing. They had members of the community actually come in, and then they met with all the developers, and the members of the community actually gave us input what they actually want back in the community, and we loved it. So we wrote down a whole bunch of notes. We had architects there, everybody was drawing, come up with new ideas. So a lot of information that we actually got from that one meeting, we actually implemented in the project that we're actually doing now. So we're kind of reflecting what the community actually wants. And then in terms of the fact that we met with the community, we just don't want to build something and then they can't live in there, but they can't afford it. So all the properties that we actually build in, we're keeping them 100%. And they all will be affordable housing. Not one thing will not be affordable housing. But the whole idea is to make sure that the members of the community actually have properties that they feel good, that they come home to and really enjoy. I grew up in the West Ward, so I want to see something that that takes me back to my childhood where I actually enjoyed being. So I know we're about to move on to the...
Yeah, I'll show you what we have as far as what we want to design. Let me see. Let me share my screen. Just let me know if you can see what we have here.
All right, we can see it now.
It might be a little bit small, but I'll run you through what it is. So the houses that we're going to build as new construction, we're going to do 3 family units. And this is pretty much the design for each one. We want to have an open concept with the kitchen and living area, because a lot of people, like Dan said, they gave us some feedback, and a lot of people said that they have never had the opportunity to live in an open concept property. So we figured let's incorporate that in these projects. So we have over here, you'll see the living room area. You see the openness to the kitchen with an island in it. Each unit, what we're trying to do is to put 3 units so that they can accommodate a family. Here you'll see that there's a bedroom right off the kitchen, and then there's the smaller bedroom all the way to the back, and you have the master bedroom here. The master bedroom has its own private bathroom, because we understand that, you know, the parents of the house would like to have their own space. So we thought it was important to ensure that the master bedroom had its own bathroom. Another feature that people made note was the fact that they wanted a laundry area. Most renters, they have to take their laundry to the laundromat. So we made sure that we put here a little laundry area to accommodate washer, dryer, and then the HVAC system.
Yeah, that was a lot of feedback we actually had at that meeting. A lot of people said like they don't have washing dryers in their home, but most of the old buildings that haven't been really, you know, renovated in a very long time, they don't come with it. So they don't like the fact that they got to go out. So they'd rather just stay home and do their own laundry. So we were very adamant about making sure that we actually have washers and dryers.
Right. And another feature was that we wanted to ensure a sense of community. Our parcels are adjacent to each other. So what we want to do is, in this area here, this is actually a shared courtyard. So we have one house here, we have the other house here, and then in the middle here with a walkway from the back is a shared courtyard. So that will help to promote the community feel that we want in the area, which is what we want for the entire West Ward as a whole. And that's pretty much it for the design. What we wanted to do was to ensure that it wasn't just another cookie cutter that is within the community already. We wanted to have it look a little different, have a little bit of a different feel, but most importantly, ensure that the resident of the unit feels nice and comfortable and safe in this property, and they want to continue living there for as long as they're able to. And as Dan said, all of our units are going to be affordable units, you know, so anyone who qualifies, anyone really can.
So we're going to be targeting people within the community to come in and live in our properties. That's the people we want. We're working for them in a sense.
Right.
So regardless of how much money we put into our properties, our philosophy will never change. It will always stay 100% affordable housing.
And once again, we thank you. We really appreciate the opportunity to work in this project.
Thank you, gentlemen, DDA pioneers. We certainly appreciate you walking us through not only some of the specs, the specifics, but also in terms of your connection to the community and how important it was to make sure that what you built was a reflection of what the community said that it wanted. This is the type of overall project that is, you know, we're building these from the ground up, but it's part of a comprehensive project. So you've incorporated a lot of those elements, the safety, the affordability, and we congratulate you as being developers who are straight out of the gate and who appear to get it in terms of your connection to what the people want. So we certainly appreciate your involvement in this program, and we thank you. So next week, we'd like to move on to our next developer. And our next developer is none other than Ms. Jamila Muhammad of Rising Plains LLC. Now, Ms. Muhammad hails from the South Ward. She's a product of Newark's South Ward, and she's been in real estate for more than 20 years now. And so we certainly view it as an honor and a privilege to have her as a contributor to the West Ward. And so without further ado, if you could please tell us as much as you can about your background and what you are doing here as part of this project. Remember to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor Baraka and Councilman McCullen and Ms. Ladd for this opportunity. And am I loud enough? Loud enough?
You're fine.
Okay, good. Okay, so and I also want to just thank my development team, which is Meta Architects, my funding partner, Martin Stern from Newark Interfaith, and my attorney, Marsha Moore. Without them, you know, I wouldn't be here today. So that, you know, just having a great team including the township, the city, has made this all possible. Like his, my introducer said, I have over 20 years in real estate experience. I started off as a real estate agent when I was 18. It was a family business, and so I've always had the passion just to be in real estate. I came back to Newark after I left Howard, and I did some real estate development for the township of Irvington, the city of Newark. I've done some projects out in Camden, and I did a condominium conversion project. I worked on a condominium conversion project out in Jersey City. That's a 12-unit project. Right, this project here consists of 10 parcels. The first phase is I guess I'm going to share my screen now. Did I get it right? Do you guys see?
No, we don't see anything yet.
No? Okay, hold on.
All right, looks like something. Here we go.
Okay, you didn't see anything yet?
Yeah, we see your rendering.
Rendering, but that's not the screen that I want to share.
Okay.
So we have it? No.
We see a smaller screen within the rendering, but you can feel free to just go ahead and proceed and kind of talk about. Okay.
So I want to take this opportunity, this platform, it's like two-part. The first part is to just to make people aware of who Rise and Flame is and what we're doing in the community, what's going to be available, how they can get access to these properties that are for sale and that for rent. So on the screen, you'll see our website, and we want the homeowners, home renters to go on the site, get the incentives that are up there. We have the mortgage incentive where they can get the down payments. We have the city grant that's a link to the grants that where they can qualify for. These are for Newark residents. So we have all incentives up on our websites. We want them to follow us on Instagram and see our progress, our in progress on these projects. So that's the first screen. The second screen is, I hope it's up there. It just shows where our properties are, and they're mainly on South 16th Street. And sorry, I thought I had all South 16th Street, but I see I don't now. But so, the rest of them are on South 16th Street. We share, we're neighbors. We're doing 2-family and 3-family developments. And we're actually doing a smaller 20-unit development. We don't have the renderings. But we do have the renderings of the 2-family that the majority, all of them will have the same concept as this one that I'm showing today. And we have the windows where we're getting the light in for the homeowners and the tenants. We have the amenities with the washer and dryers, 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, a lot of open space. And I know my renderings here are a little small, but I did kind of show how these properties will look with the existing homes. This is how the inside will look with the wood floors, the kitchens, the cabinets. They're really nice, but like I said, you can go up on the site to view more detail. And also you can follow us online with our working process, the process of building up these homes. And I started with the renderings, how it's going to look, because we already know how it looked before. It's, vacant lots. And the material that we're using for all our projects, they're coming from Newark-based lumber yards, grade A, grade B material. This is one that's in progress now. We finished the first deck. We're going actually Monday or Tuesday, we'll be finished the second deck. And so it'll be looking like a home. We feel free to ride through. This is our online ribbon cutting that we've all been asking for. When we're going to have the ribbon cut, so I'm just using this as a ribbon cutting. So that's really pretty much of my presentation on the properties that we're building. And those are the 2 families.
So thank you very much for that, Jamila. I just figured we'll take this.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't finished.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right, so those are the 2 family homes. So I just wanted to take the screen share now. And so the second part of this that I want to share with this platform is just to, I just wanted to just do the encouragement of, with the women developers. Everybody's always asking, how do you become a developer, and especially a woman developer. You follow the city, you follow economic development. They always posting when the auctions are coming, when the development, when they need developers, so the different areas. So when they come out with those RSQs, don't be afraid, come to meetings, put your proposals through, ask a lot of questions. The city has been very supportive in this process. And I've done this before many years ago, and at the time of the 2008, when the economy crashed, my first business went under in that crash. But I stuck in there. I'm from Newark, so I'm going to follow and I'm see what's going on. You have to know what's going on, and that's what I did, and that's why I'm here today, because I applied. And Annette Muhammad, that's the Muhammad she was talking about. Annette Muhammad, she was in the office at the time, and Mr. McCullen and they all reviewed the proposal, and they thought that was something that they wanted to have, and I'm honored to be one of the developers and also one of the minority developers. And I hope that the platform and the footprints that we're leaving as women is encouraging for the next set of women, because we're raising the bar for you ladies. So we need you guys to raise it for the next one and the next ones and the next ones. And definitely don't be afraid to come out and just do it. We have a lot of people that are not, visual or here now that are doing it. So just so they know that we're not the only 3 women that are developing here in Newark and in the town. There's women doing this all over. And we just want to be the ones that encourage you to make that step and do it if that's what you want to do. And I know a lot of women want to do this. I'm happy to be doing this again. Thank you.
We're happy to have you, Jamila. We certainly thank you for those words and those sentiments. You mentioned a couple of things there. One of them was an acronym, RFQ. We'll have the opportunity to talk a little bit about that just before we're done here, so we can talk about exactly how this cohort came to be. Right about now, I just want to mention that we currently have about 224 people following us currently right now on Facebook Live. And so with that audience, we want to move on to our next developer. And our next developer, Benedict, can we see you? Where are you? Oh, there you go, right there. Okay.
Hey, how are you guys?
Benedict of Alpha Development and Investments. Just quickly about your background, you have actually rehabbed and sold projects prior to your work here in this cohort. And so you come to us with some real estate experience, but we certainly like for you to talk about what you're now doing here as part of this cohort and your work in the West Ward.
Well, I want to say good evening to the mayor, the councilman, all my fellow developers and all the listeners out there. It's a great opportunity to be able to have this platform and to share our expertise, one, and just to also share the beautiful things that the city of Newark has to offer. I'm not from Newark, I'm from Orange, a neighboring town, but I've been investing in Newark probably since I've been like 15, 16 years old, throwing high school parties. So the connection that I have to my city, I love it. I started in real estate back in 2006. So as the market was crashing, I was just getting in. So a lot of the hurdles that people are gonna be experiencing or have experienced, I jumped right in it when it was at the worst time. The street that I started on was South 13th Street, which is also in the West Ward. At the time, it was Councilman Rice. I think that was the councilman of the West Ward then. So I've been developing primarily most of my career in the West Ward between Gould and Gould and I think 9th Avenue. I did about 13 projects consecutively over there. And I chose to do that because I wanted to single-handedly change the narrative of that community. To me, I feel if you do scattered properties, the community is not going to get a sense of involvement. And if you have every other block or every other street as an abandoned property, then the children of the community are not going to be able to, feel safe. There's a lot of burnout property. So that was just a rough area at the time. And, single-handedly, I was able to change that narrative. One of the things that I also did was open a vocational school called Regal Institute, because all of my tenants at the time were on Section 8 or some type of other government assistance. And I aligned their education $4,000 stimulus they had with 990 or 50 South Clinton Place with an in-demand occupation, because my goal is not to hold on to these properties as a long-term tenant, but to make the tenants that reside in the properties homeowners at a particular time. So I was very successful in that. Since 2006 to current, I've done about 180 properties within the East Orange and Newark area. So I'm very familiar as far as the real estate development. This is my first time building from the ground up, but at the severe disrepair that some of these properties have, it's almost like building from the ground up. So it's nothing that I'm going to be afraid of. I already got the financing lined up. Also, I opened up a restaurant bar called La Rouge Restaurant and Lounge, because I notice in our communities, a lot of us build properties, but we don't build some of the ancillary things that the community needs, as far as dry cleaners, massage parlors, flower shops, eateries, things like that. So and this goes out to a lot of people that's listening, with the competitive market that's out right now with these multifamily properties, start looking at commercial storefronts. Commercial storefronts are going to start taking a hit. So this is an opportunity for us to open up delis and, more smaller things as the bigger giants are kind of creeping into our communities. This just is a way that we get to kind of fight back. So I can share the projects that I have. I'm new as far as the architectural part, because I just closed on my lots last week. So I'm gonna just show you guys some renderings that I'm working on with my architect right now, and also the what the community currently looks like and what I plan to make it.
As Benedict does that, I'm just going to follow up on one important point that he made, and that is he mentioned that he also owns another establishment here in Newark, a commercial establishment. And so although the focus here is housing, we also know the importance of making sure that we create local communities, neighborhoods where they're self-contained. In addition to housing, what are some of the other types of businesses and establishments that would help make that a neighborhood? That for far too long in some neighborhoods, if you wanted certain types of goods and services, you would unfortunately have to leave that neighborhood. Or some people felt obligated to the need to leave the city altogether. So again,
Not there.
You okay, Benedict?
Yes, I am.
All right, so you turned off your camera. You might want to turn that back on and just click on screen share.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. But I'm okay. No problem. So just talking about how this is a part of a larger strategy in terms of economic development, creating really an economic development ecosystem locally within our neighborhoods, where we have emerging developers who create also mixed-use spaces beyond just the housing. But if you're a new resident in the West Ward, we want you to be able to have your dry cleaning within walking distance, to be able to buy fresh fruits and vegetables within walking distance, and again, to be a self-contained community. And so this is part of the planning and design that went behind this initiative. And with the image up, I'm going to let you take it over, Benedict, so that we can hear about your
projects. So the lots that I own is lots 16, 17, and 18, which I plan on building 3-family houses. I also own lot 24 and 25, which I plan on building 3-family houses. Lot 19 and the lot that you see that's in blue, those are 2 vacant lots that I'm in the process of trying to purchase from the city, because it's like I said, building 3 houses in the middle of 2 abandoned properties is not going to make much sense. So as I'm building these 3-family houses, I'm also in the process of getting these lots. Let me see if I could pull up one more picture for you guys so you can see what the properties are gonna look like. So that's the back part of the property. Can you guys see that picture right there?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, so that's the back part of the property. And the front,
Looks like you got the hang of it now.
yeah, so pretty much I wanted to bring that modern feel into that area. I know people always say, well, the West Ward is a little rough, so I kind of want to lighten things up. And like I said, I've done over about 60 to 70 properties just within the West Ward. So, you know, I'm very passionate about the community, and I'm excited, and thank you guys for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Benedict. We appreciate all of your work and your contribution to what's happening here in the West Ward. It looks like we have the councilman's approval there.
Oh, wait, in closing, one more
Benedict, that's my guy. I didn't even know that was Benedict.
Okay.
Saying, who was that guy?
Hey, well, what do you know?
Started talking.
Hey,
I
well,
didn't
what do you know?
recognize him with the beard.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's the quarantine beard.
Right.
In closing,
Yeah.
Right.
In closing, I also want to say I own Regal Real Estate School. So if you're looking to become a licensed realtor, we're offering a 75-hour salesperson course. Because to me, if we don't teach and give that certification out, a lot of us don't see the value within our own community. So to me, real estate is something that needs to be taught in our high schools and in our young adult schools, because we have so much value in our city, and it's crazy that other people get to see it, but because we don't have that trained eye for it, that, you know, it kind of gets swept under the rug. So my website is regalrealestateschool.com. If anybody is interested in taking a 75-hour online course, please contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Benedict. Thank you. Thank you. And now, last but certainly not least, we have the dynamic Narelle Mike. We talked about exactly how I would intro you, and I won't throw out a whole lot about your background. I'll allow you to do that. But I just wanted to mention and go on record that Narelle is head of New Age Investments, and she comes to us from New York City. And she's going to talk now about why she's here in the West Ward and what her contribution has been and what her background is and what she's looking to accomplish in this project. So by all means, Narelle, all right, move right on to the screen shares. Without further ado, Narelle.
Can you see my screen okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that intro, Jara. Good evening, everyone. I'm Narelle Mike, and before I share with you what my contribution to the West Ward NDP is, I'd just like to sincerely thank Mayor Baraka, Councilman McCollum, as well as Deputy Mayor Ladd for your leadership, your support, and for ensuring that this program is a success, and for the opportunity, of course, to be a part of it. And I'd also like to send some thanks to everyone who's in the Economic and Housing Development Program, or Department rather, for their dedication as well to this program. And I'm excited to be here with my fellow developers and everyone who is on this Facebook Live tonight.
Thank you.
So just a little about me. As Gerard said, I'm originally from the Bronx. I actually spent most of my childhood there. I still have family there. But I made the decision to move to New Jersey 12 years ago, and I haven't regretted that decision at all. I first got into real estate investing back in 2014. And at the time, I didn't even realize what a natural step that was for me. My dad is an electrician. Both of my grandfathers were carpenters. And I have several uncles who are tradesmen. So I really grew up watching family members fixing and building things. And about 4 years ago, I made the jump into infill development. And what that term really means, infill, is what a lot of the developers on this call are doing, right? So we are essentially taking vacant properties, vacant land that are in already established neighborhoods, and we're filling them in. We are putting better use to those vacant lots. And in my case, I purchased vacant lots for ground up construction specifically. So this is a ground up 2-family that I completed on Avon Avenue. I completed it in 2018. This was my first project, my first ground up project. And it was actually purchased by a family who already lived in Newark. So it was good that they were able to take advantage of a new construction home right in their own city. And this next project is also a 2-family. This is under construction right now. It's located in the West Ward, and it will be for rent once it's completed in late March of next year. So I just wanted to show a little bit of what I've done in the past. And then moving on to the properties that I'll be doing for the NDP, I will be building 3-family homes. They have an official name. They are called the Points on 18th. And this will be a total of 9 units, which each unit will feature open floor plans, 2 bathrooms, washer and dryer hookups, stainless steel appliances, central air and heating. These amenities are pretty standard for new construction that's going on in the area. And similar to one of my fellow developers who previously presented, what each of these properties will feature is a small paved courtyard, approximately 150 square feet. It will be in the rear of the property, and it can be used as a separate space from the backyard for a little entertaining. So this is a picture of what the site currently looks like. You will see that there are 3 lots. They're separated in the middle here by this property, that's this tan colored property here. And this is a partial rendering of what the site will look like once the homes are completed. So if everyone can just imagine for a second that where you see the green space on the right of the tan home, there will be an additional 2 homes built for a total of 3 families. And then this is just a close-up of one of the 3 families. I'm going to be building 3,800 square foot homes. And what you can probably tell is that I like to have a little fun with my projects, and it's in my own way bringing some individuality to the projects, as well as revitalizing the community and making sure that I'm mindful of elevating the design of the homes within this community because we deserve it. So before I go, I want to just give everyone an idea of when these properties will be available for rent. My current timeline is that the first of the 3 will be completed by late spring next year, followed by the fall 2021 for the other 2 properties. These homes will be rented according to the HUD income guidelines that are set in place. And so the 3-bedroom units will be rented for $1,800, the 2 bedrooms will go for $1,500, and Section 8 tenants are welcome. And this is my contact information. Feel free to contact me at any of the social media platforms that are here. Check out my website as well, see what other projects I'm working on. And I just want to sincerely thank everyone again for their time tonight.
Thank you, Nora. This is greatly appreciated. All of the developers, we thank you for your presentations, talking about and showing, illustrating exactly what your labor has been in the West Ward as part of this cohort. What we'd like to do now is take this time to open it up for Q&A. I mentioned earlier we had a couple hundred folks viewing this on Facebook, and so at this point in time, we want to go to Ms. Andrea Mason, who will help us determine if there are any questions from the viewing public. Andrea?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I want to start off by just thanking everybody for being a part of the conversation and allowing the community to take part in it, even though they weren't a part of deciding what developers took part in the project or the renderings, but at least they now know what is to be expected prior to people just moving in and seeing the area changed. Also want to just add that from reading all of the comments on Facebook, and I think I didn't miss any except if they're coming in right now. The post is that the renderings look good and that they're aesthetically beautiful. And I think overall it's a good feeling from the community. So there are quite a few questions and we have about 15 minutes. So let me get right to it. How were the developers selected for this project?
So thanks for that question. I can briefly respond to that. And it was Jamila early who mentioned RFQ. So an RFQ is a request for qualifications. And typically what the city does is any event that they want to determine what companies or developers may be interested in becoming part of a project. What we do is we solicit the qualifications we open it up to the public at large so they can respond and let us know exactly how they're qualified and what they would do if selected in this program. So each one of the men and women here who represent their companies will all engage in a competitive process in which they submitted to the city what their backgrounds were and what their qualifications were.
Okay, thank you. And are either of the developers hiring or looking for help? There's an inquiry about an internship with a women-led development company. Also, people are interested in possible apprenticeship opportunities or and union jobs.
Great question. Any of our developers?
So right now we're not looking to hire anyone, but we are looking for minority contractors for our sites. It's one of our requirements. So we can put this out as we can take this now as a job opportunity for our minority contractors. That's what we're looking for at Rise of Plain right now. We're building, so whatever trade you have, please reach out to us on Instagram or our number also too. I think I had that posted so that we can use you guys on. And we're actually for Newarkers also.
Anyone else want to chime in?
I would definitely be interested in talking to offering possible internship. And we will be looking for project manager sometime, I want to say September, October, but definitely internship I can use. An intern, I can use an intern. And of course, I mean, if things work out, I definitely hire.
Okay, so I guess we can share the developers' information. Many of you have said it, but perhaps toward the end, we can just share that so that those people who are interested can contact you via email or Instagram.
And Andrea, I just want to quickly just go on the record also. I don't have anything official set up, but I wouldn't mind someone who is serious to shadow me once in a while, just to get a feeling for, what it's like throughout the various phases of development.
Thank you.
They can reach out to me on my website.
Awesome.
And
Appreciate that.
I wanted to say something too as well. Right now, I'm currently probably not looking for interns, but I'm definitely willing to speak with whoever is interested in interning. A lot of times, it just may start as a simple conversation, but they may have additional skill sets that could be of value too. So, whoever is interested, just feel free to share my email address. I'll connect you with my assistant, and at least at a minimum, you could come in, we could talk, I could see what you're trying to do, and just see if there's a way that we could work together for sure.
Perfect. Anyone else?
And I'll add that we're always looking for good framers, people who are good in carpentry, masonry. We have a team, like a crew, and our guys are pretty fast and they're good. So, anyone that can keep up, we're always looking for good framers.
I'm multitasking over here, trying to look at the Facebook feed and jot down notes and ask questions. Okay, next question. Currently, are Newark residents working on the project? That's the big question. We want Newarkers to be involved in all aspects.
Developers?
So I can just quickly say that as part of our redevelopment agreement, there's a certain percentage of Newark contractors, Newark suppliers, and of the workforce that we are required to have working on our projects. And we all, I think, can agree that we fully expect to fulfill that expectation, if not go above the requirement.
Yeah, I would like to say too, 100%. There's no way, we could be, I can have, several $1 million project and not have Newarkers on my project. So myself, I'm from Newark. My assistant's from Newark. My contractor lives around the corner from me. His guys live in Newark. So, I'm not saying that was something that it's not something that I set up intentionally, but it just kind of happened like that. And I was actually even surprised to see that 80 to 90% of his guys are from Newark too. So, it was something that kind of worked out. So, we as developers, we try our best. You know what I'm saying? I think I got fortunate this time, but I'm pretty sure I can say for everybody that we're going to make sure that we get as many Newarkers on our projects as possible.
Absolutely.
Yes, I have Newarkers that work on a project. We're buying from them Newark suppliers, but I want to make an emphasis that we want to have our minority contractors to, reach out. That's what, we look at. I have Newarkers, but, they live in Newark, our framers, but I want to specifically look, I want the minority Newarkers and the minority contractors that are looking for the work. So I have a contractor, but I also know how to incorporate the Newark into this project, and I just need some people to reach out to do that.
Appreciate your responses.
I have the Newarkers, but I need the minority to really reach out.
We're beginning to get a little feedback, so if you're not speaking, would you please mute? The next question is about affordability. And of course, many people complain that affordable housing isn't necessarily affordable. So a couple residents did ask, what is the price point for rents? And also, are there going to be rental fees involved?
I'll speak to that. So the 6 unit we have coming up, we're expecting, we've applied for home funds and, certain subsidies from the city. So with that, we have a rent limit, right? So for 2 bedrooms right now, I believe like the Section 8 rate is about $1,400 in the 14s. So 2 of the units are gonna be affordable to, residents that are at that 50% median income. So it's like $1,132 for the 2 bedrooms. And then 2 of them are gonna be for, residents at about 50%. And then the other 4 are gonna be for residents that are at 80% or below the median income, which our rate is $1,359 that we have to go by according to the home limits. But of course, Section 8 is market, so it's higher, but we're under. So that's what's affordable. That's what affordable means to me. Not like Section 8 where, you're paying only 30% of your income.
Okay, so for the layman, as I understand it, there's a possibility that, so some are market rate for some of the developers, and then some could be affordable, meaning between $1,100 and like $1,500 a month. Is that about right?
just to chime in on the fee, and then I'll also answer that question too. We're going to be posting all the rental units on all the rental websites. So we're just going to eliminate having a broker that's going to be renting the units. So it's a heads up for people to look at the available sites on the Newark websites. Drive by the properties, they'll be posted. So when they become available for rent, they won't have that renter's fee to get an apartment.
Ms. Muhammad, if you don't mind, when you're speaking, would you mind turning down your other device?
I'm so sorry. Okay. And the next question you said, as far as affordable, really the area is going to drive what the affordability is, and there's a range. So we're trying to stay in that medium range of affordability.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing too, is that like typically I want to just educate people on development, right? So the same buildings that we're building in the West Ward in our community, if you put these same buildings in other locales, the rents are going to be double, if not triple, right? So just us developing in these areas right now, we already developing at a loss, right? So say, for example, I understand everybody, we want affordability. And obviously, we're going to make it affordable for you guys. That's why we're developing here. But at the same time, it takes a little understanding on both sides to see that, we're taking a huge risk, because on every apartment, because the cost of construction is the same, on every apartment, we could be losing between $900 to $1,000 in potential rent every month. You know what I mean? So when you say like affordable, in my developments, for example, most of probably, maybe I won't say 100%, but 90% of it is probably affordable. But now in terms of the projects in the West Ward, absolutely we're gonna make it affordable, because even at the market rate that we think is still affordable. For example, like with a 1-bedroom, our 1-bedrooms will probably be between $1,100, $1,200. Some people may say, listen, that's a lot, right? But you got to look at what you're getting for this, right? You're getting brand new appliances, you're getting quality cabinets, quality flooring, a quality a way of living as well. Now for our 2-bedrooms, we'll try to push it to maybe 1,400-ish, give or take, right? But even at that price, I don't want people to think that, we're not trying to make it affordable, because as developers, we have to find a meeting in the middle where we can make it affordable while also making it profitable enough for the banks to give us the money to finance it. And in terms of fees, I think fees are ridiculous, especially in our areas, in our communities. I don't think you should be paying a fee to get an apartment. So on any stuff that I got, if you come directly to us, it ain't no fees. I don't know if you're dealing with somebody else, but we don't play the fees. We want you to have your money so you can spend it on your families.
Absolutely. If I can chime in, I'm selling all of my properties, and I'm a strong believer, if you're purchasing something, then you're going to see more value in that. And so with that being said, if somebody will rent out my 3-bedroom for $1,700, I'm pretty sure that they can come up with a down deposit, especially with all the assistance that the county's offering. A lot of banks like Wells Fargo, based on their class action lawsuits and things that they have to do based on their CRA Act. So there's a lot of money out there that can be redirected where you guys become more homeowners as opposed to tenants. And if you do the survey in most of these urban areas, you have a lot of family members that live within half a block radius from each other. So the goal is to teach them, listen, live in one unit, rent out the other 2 units within your family, within your family members. And what that does is it breeds more love in the community, more respect for the community, because they have an opportunity to own that. And these are some of the things that we offer too. We offer credit repair, we offer down deposit assistance, things like that. Because there's a lot of monies and things that are available, people just don't look. And that's one of the things that I can say I appreciate about this administration, and is how available the information is for everyone. So think more of as a homeowner than actually as a tenant. And then you're going to see that it's worth purchasing.
Good, thanks, Benedict. I'm glad you mentioned that toward the end. And I don't know if Zoom actually will cut off at a certain time, but there are a couple more questions, and I know we really have 5 minutes. So I really wish I didn't have to speed through them, but I don't know if we're actually going to get cut off. So let me just go forward. There was a concern about using cheaper materials in order to offer the housing. And Cyree, you sort of spoke to it, quality products, but yet, making money at the same time of being able to offer the affordability. So the residents they just want to make sure that they are receiving a quality product in the community, and that once you get the first tenant in, the stuff isn't falling apart. Can everyone sort of guarantee the workmanship and the quality product that's going to be built?
Absolutely, 100%. And for my fellow developers, one thing that we have spoken about during the Friday meetings is, even though that we're doing the projects individually, if we're purchasing materials together, we can get it at a much better rate. And so where we may not have to compromise what we have to, our expenses versus the quality. So if we're purchasing together, we'll be able to get things at a discounted price if we're purchasing, pretty much under one invoice or so.
I'll quickly add, by being able to buy these vacant lots or properties at a deep discount that we do, so we're able to put in quality material, quality labor into the projects. Whereas if we're buying them on the open market, then we'd have to kind of be cautious about, how much you're putting in. But, this year we're putting in, everything we need to put in to make it marketable. And things like tax abatement and that's we will be applying for, we can then transfer some of that benefit to potential tenants. Like things like we plan on offering maybe 1 month security deposit required as opposed to a month and a half, things like that. So by getting the help, we offer that.
That's good to hear. I think that's pretty reassuring to hear that, because we oftentimes hear horror stories about people moving into apartments, whether they're new or old, and things just falling apart. People band-aiding the situation rather than actually fixing it. So I can appreciate that, and I'm sure other residents can also. Can you also just let us know, there was a question, are you looking for realtors? So from what I'm understanding, these are rental properties. Benedict mentioned that he plans to sell a few, but are any of you looking for realtors at the moment?
Yes, I'm definitely looking for realtors, absolutely.
Okay, and we'll share that information as was stated a little earlier.
Yes. And if I may say really quickly, because at this point we probably want to send it back to the deputy mayor for final words, but there were a few things, a few concerns mentioned. I just want to take about 30 seconds to say that the Office of Affordability and Sustainable Housing is not a common office across the country. We have a mayor who is looking at community development equitably and comprehensively. And so a lot of your concerns, we appreciate them, but we want you to know that we're very intentional about who we selected and how they're going about developing, all right, in terms of quality, affordability, a range of options, everything from renting to also ownership, and also the opportunity to also bring different types of uses, mixed uses to our neighborhood and our community. And so this is also not this is the first, but it's certainly not the last of these types of engagements where we will let you know exactly what's going on with this cohort. And I will say that my office will always certainly be available. And without further ado, I want to thank everyone here and also send it back to the deputy mayor for our final words.
Deputy Mayor, before you speak, if you in your closing wouldn't mind answering this question. People are asking about the auction to come.
Yes.
And also, if they are minority developer, how they can get involved in future projects.
Sure, my pleasure, Andrea, and thank you for helping moderate our questions and answers and really helping us be in the neighborhood as the Newark People's Assembly does on a regular basis. So thank you so much. Wanted to let you know a couple of things. So One, we do have an upcoming auction. The upcoming auction will be on August 27th, and it'll be online. Look for more information within the next week or so, and you'll hear more about where you can find the auction information, which properties are going to be available, and what's going to happen with the auction. So the auction will be on August 27th. Second, if you're interested in being part of a cohort, a team of people like everyone you heard tonight, please reach out to our office. You can reach out to Gerard Crowder, the manager, directly, but you can also send an email to ehd@ci.newark.nj.us. So you could send an email to ehd@ci.newark.nj.us and put in the title Neighborhood Development Program, and we'll be sure to get it to Gerard and his team. So as I'm closing out, really, thank you, Councilmember McCollum, for being part of this, for leading this, for sponsoring this effort. On behalf of Mayor Baraka, it's just my honor to be part of this effort. I've been delighted to meet everybody who's here today and others that are not here, but this has been a tremendous effort, and we're really excited about moving the West Ward forward as we move Newark forward. So I'm inspired. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm inspired. So let's get to it. So thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Night.
Have a good night.